Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm John Sable alongside Darren Ganji, and we have a pretty special test drive today because we have early access to iRacing's newest car, the McLaren MP4-30 F1 car.
Very exciting.
Exactly.
This is really cool.
And not only do we have the car, we also have the new Nurburgring GP track. So we're going to be doing a little driving around that today. But before we get going, Darren's going to tell you a little bit more about the car.
The McLaren MP4-30's overall vehicle weight is 702 kilograms, including the driver, excluding fuel. Weight distribution is between 45.5% and 46.5%. It's got a Honda RA615H hybrid 1.6-liter 24-valve 90-degree V6 with a max RPM of 15,000. Now a little bit about the Nurburgring GP course. To attract Formula One back to the Eifel, the then 4.5-kilometer Grand Prix circuit was built between 1981 and 1984 and was extended in 2001 by the Mercedes Arena section to its present length of 5.148 kilometers. Today the circuit is between 10 and 25 meters wide, featuring 7 left and 10 right-hand turns, as well as large runoff zones and gravel beds. The Grand Prix track is known to be a modern and safe racing circuit which hosts top-notch motorsports events.
So we did this like our typical test drives where me and Darren went head-to-head against each other for a lap, fastest time wins, and
we ran about 10 laps each.
Yes, we did get some practice laps because this car is a handful. But we're going to run you our fastest laps against one another, and we're going to be quiet so you guys can listen to all the sounds and watch the replay, and then we'll be back afterwards.
Yeah, and this is done split screen and base setup. Neither of us set the world on fire with these laps, so don't take this as, you know, a super hot lap. Honestly, I ended up running faster right after this too. And our optimal was a second faster than what we ran. So lots left in this car, lots to adjust. So here we go. Okay, so there you have it. John edged me out by 0.2 of a second, so it was a 1:37.4.
Yeah.
And I had a 1:37.6. Both of us ran those laps early on in our sessions too. I think those were like our first true hot laps, and then I think we just kept pushing. That car is a beast.
It is a handful.
And anyway, we're going to talk more about it as we go kind of analyze the laps, analyze the car, how it felt on that track with the DRS, that kind of stuff. So here's that. Now here's we're coming down the front straight.
And turn 1 is so tight.
So it looks like I had you. Yeah, I had you at this point. Coming through turn 1, looks like I had a little bit of an edge. Yeah, coming through this corner, I'm getting there a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I really struggled with that complex there. I was down in second gear, which probably should have been in third.
This car's a beast too, man. This thing is a handful.
It's so, like, coming out of this corner was always really, really hard to put power down. You see both of us are fighting the wheel. And this corner with the banking, it can give you a false sense of security.
Yeah, and it goes for a long time too.
You're still leading me up into the Schumacher S's.
Yep. Which I think I got a little loose coming out of here. Nope, it was a different section I'm thinking about.
Again, another corner where it's really easy to overcharge. You got to set yourself up for this right-hander.
So I missed that. I got down into third. I should have kept it in fourth.
And there's the DRS.
Yeah, this is a tough DRS section.
Yes,
I had you all the way up into this point. I think this is where you start to pick up on me right through this section.
I get off this corner a little better right there.
And I twitched there too.
And then this is really close.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second isn't much when it comes down to it.
Across the line.
So yeah, it was less than 0.2.
Yes.
So that's why it looked so close throughout. And yeah, I just barely had you until that last section. That's where I gave it up. Screwed the pooch.
And boy, what a good-looking model.
It is. This thing looks incredible. Sounds are amazing. I love the crackling sound that it has, like under braking and stuff. It's just,
Yeah, it has this reverberation that previous iRacing cars hadn't really had.
yeah, I agree. And something that was really interesting too was there's 2 DRS zones on this track. One down the front straight, and then one in the back section. And that right-hand kink, you had struggled with a little bit, and then you went first, so you spun through there, I think at least 2 or 3 times, but then by the time I got back to it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna straight line this and barely turn the wheel and get through it, and I was lucky to get through it. Schumacher S's, I was really pushing, and I spun it a few times exiting the S's.
Yeah, those S's, I'm sure with a good setup you could run flat out, but us just kind of running the base,
not happening.
It was difficult. And there's a DRS opening, and yeah, this right-hand kink, you got to straight line that. It can be tough.
And you're carrying a lot of speed coming up into this little chicane.
And saw a little bit of a little spark there, and saw the new tire smoke, which looks awesome.
It does. It looks really good. So yeah, overall that was a lot of fun. We would have liked a better setup to drive, but I can see the guys in the championship series really having a lot of fun with that car.
Yeah, I think it's going to mix it up quite a bit. And one thing that's interesting is iRacing have at least the yellow banded soft Pirelli tires on there, and they say eventually they're going to come out with multiple tire compounds that you're going to have to run during the race.
Lots of new setup options too, and it's got ERS as well, so you can see the bar on the dash depleting as you're going through a lap.
Yep. And we selected the McLaren livery, but I'll just say now, that's not your only option. Okay, well that's a wrap on our test drive of the McLaren MP4-30 in iRacing on the Nurburgring GP course. And
Exciting.
Very exciting.
This is some major content for iRacing.
It is.
It's a big deal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing how the community reacts to this, the sounds of this car, the fact that a new F1 car, long overdue. I mean, that Williams was definitely long in the tooth. Another F1 course added to the selection of tracks, so pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely. So the car and track is slated to be released on December 8th, which is coming up Tuesday. So it's going to be in your hands in no time, and hope you guys enjoy as much as we do.
Yeah, and thanks iRacing for letting us check this out early. We really appreciate it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For John Sable, I'm Darren Ganji. We'll see you guys next time.